and all the suffering indigenous populations in the damnable Zoological Republic are set free. Chineke na nke pụrụ m ihe niile Chukwu okike abịa banye na-efewe na aja aha nsọ ya mma mgbe niile. Onye ọbụla na ya na-achị eluigwe n'ụwa na-agba akaebe ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị na-eze ebede ngọzi. Anyị wee na-etoghị agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro. Iwe nye anyị ndụ ala nke dị n'uwere n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-asị na ịja mma niile otu niile dịrị aha nsọ gị. Onye ọbụla anyị aka ike niile na ọ gbadara aka ya. Anyị wee na-akpọku gị na-asị gị na nke ọma ma anyị ga-ekele gị nke ọjọọ ma anyị kelee gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma wee na-eto gị wee na-asọpụrụ gị n'isi ụmụ gị niile bụ ndị ikwu ndị wee ezu oku mgbe a kpọrọ ha ka ha wee chekwaa ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na ihe n'ikwuru anyị nkwa na o mekataghị ka ndị iro wee were ala nsọ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro ma ndị na-agba mgbọgba ebe niile dị iche iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna ihere bụ nke ndị dị etu a n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-eto gị wee na-asị onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na ọtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise ise ise.
Welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining wherever you are joining from. Thank you for joining. Welcome, Biafrans. Thank you for joining. Thank you for connecting wherever you are joining from. Thank you so much for connecting. Chukwu Kabiama bless you as you join the broadcast. We will continue. No matter what they say, no matter what they bring, no matter how they want to do it, we will continue to preach the gospel and send the message out there for them to hear. They must listen to us. They must listen to us. Fellow Biafrans, those who are watching from Biafra land, if you're watching from Biafra land, I appreciate you. You're watching from any part of Europe, America, Australia, Canada, Asia, whichever part of the world you're watching from. Thank you for joining the broadcast. I appreciate you. There is no other reason why we come online except to speak up for the situation of the Biafran people. There's no other reason why we come online except to speak about the situation in Biafra land. The loss of life, the killings, the abduction in Biafra land, the genocide in Biafra land. That is what we are talking about. And we will continue to speak about it, continue to shout about it until Biafra comes. We will never stop talking. And even after the coming of Biafra, we will still continue to send the message out there. Every Biafran, wherever you are in the planet Earth, it is your duty to shout on top of your voice and tell the world what is going on in Biafra land. Share the video in your platform. Share the video any place you belong. Share it in your WhatsApp group. Keep sharing. I just have the opportunity to come and say one or two things here, but later in the day I'll be doing my normal program. In Chooks for Survival. That is where I hold my program, as I've always told you. But I have to come out briefly to speak about things that are happening. We are losing people. We are losing people in Biafra land. We are losing people. Losing people on different angles. Genocide is happening in Biafra land. Nobody is speaking about it. Nobody is talking. How long shall we continue to tolerate that? And how long shall we continue to be scared? How long shall we continue to be silent? The killing of Biafran people is unacceptable. They want to shut us up by all means possible, and we will not fall into that trap. We will not buy into that. We will continue to speak up, continue to say our mind, continue to voice out our opinion until we get our freedom. For those who are busy distracting the Biafran people, if you're one of those who is busy distracting the Biafran people, talking down on people who are doing something that is working, you better have a change of mind. You better have a rethink. Change your attitude, change your behavior. If you don't, you're going to pay a heavy price. Yes, you're going to pay a heavy price. It's not been easy in the struggle. The Janjaweed is trying by all means possible to infiltrate the movement. I can't even say they are trying, they have succeeded in taking some Biafra people on their side. That is why you see your fellow brother blackmailing a brother, brother blackmailing brother, brother fighting against brother instead of supporting. We don't need all that. We don't need all that. It is high time we focus on our collective interest. I always say it and I hammer on it. Collective interest of the Biafran people is something that we must not play with. The collective interest of every Biafran people is to make sure that we have our freedom, that we must be free. That is what we are pursuing, freedom. It is not about you, not just about me. It doesn't matter what you think. You might hate me, you might like me. But the truth remains that we are searching for one thing and pursuing one particular thing, running towards one direction, to get our freedom. And our freedom we must get. Our freedom we must get. We cannot shy away from it. We cannot pretend about it. All we have to do is to continue to speak up the truth and nothing but the truth. Use the right language and accept that which is the truth. That is one thing we must always understand. The enemy that we are up against is not joking. The enemy we are up against is not just an enemy. The enemy we are up against is rich. Very, very rich enemy. He has all the powers, has all the connections, has all the might. But we have the land and we have the masses. That is why we must have to always concentrate on the strength of the masses. Do not concentrate on the strength of the lawyers, their so-called political solution. That is not for you. The political solution is not for you. It's not for you. The only solution that is going to change things and make things work is that solution which you and I is going to bring through our commitment and our collective, massive civil disobedience. The freedom of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the freedom of Biafran people is not in the hand of anybody. Take it or leave it. It's not in the hand of any man, not in the hands of any woman. No man born of a woman can free him by him or herself, not even the lawyers. The freedom of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the hand of Chukwu Okike Abiama, and it's going to take effect through the people, through the masses. You and I, what we do, what we say, what we act on, is what is going to make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be released unconditionally. That is why we will continue to speak the truth. Speak up with your platform, any platform you have. Share videos. When you see videos, share. If you cannot speak up on your platform, share the videos you are seeing. The Janjaweed are holding an innocent man. Our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very innocent of all charges against him. Every charges that is presented against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from A to Z, he is innocent of all. He has not committed any crime anywhere. He has not offended anybody. But the people are rising against him. The enemies have risen against him from all corners, from all directions, trying to pull him down and bring him down. Simply because he is asking for self-determination for his own people. Is it a crime for self-determination? It is not a crime. It's not a crime anywhere and will never be a crime. Self-determination, in fact, is enshrined in the law of the country. It's enshrined in international law. You have the right to ask for self-determination in international law. African Chartered Law supports it. Even Nigerian law itself supports it, supports self-determination. So don't allow anybody to cajole you or push you around simply because you are demanding for that which is right. The demand of self-determination is the right of everyone living in that contraption called Nigeria. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is leading the charge, fighting for self-determination for everybody, not just for himself, self-determination for every indigenous tribe. That is what he's embarking on. So when you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being detained and Biafrans are crying, don't rejoice. If you're not a Biafran, don't rejoice. You have to cry along with them. If you're not a Biafran, don't say it doesn't concern you. You're not a Biafran, don't say it's not your business. It is your business. It is your business, because injustice against one is injustice against all. And if you fail to speak now, in your own time, you might not even have opportunity to be alive, let alone having somebody to speak for you. So this is a battle that belongs to every indigenous tribe in the contraption called Nigeria. Everybody have to put their hand on the deck. Fight like never before. More especially the Biafran people. Remember, the struggle has taken a new dimension. It has taken a new dimension, long-awaited dimension. It is no longer the time of complaint. We are heading to a time when the Biafrans will defend themselves by all means possible. We have been killed enough. Enough of Biafran blood shedding. Biafrans have shed enough of blood. We have cried enough. We have complained enough. It is now time for action. Very, very soon you're going to begin to hear the music. All along we have been crying online. People say we are shouting. Some call us noisemakers. Some say we are just talking, no action. You have to talk. For those who will claim that they did not hear you, so that they will hear. So that when you begin to take action, you have every reason for what you are doing. They wouldn't say they didn't hear it. That was the reason why we occupy the social media. We shout on top of our voices. We make noise as much as we can to make sure that our voice is being heard. Not because we don't have other things to do, not because we don't have other issues to talk about, but we have to talk about that which concerns every one of us. That's our collective interest. The killing in Biafra land has become so much and unbearable. Right from the time of civil war up to date, there is no family in Biafra land that did not lose a person. Every family in Biafra land have had the taste of death. They have had the taste of destruction. They have had the taste of intimidation in one way or the other. And that is absolute truth. It doesn't matter how you pretend about it or hide it. That is the absolute truth that cannot be hidden from man. But since the world is pretending not to hear, everybody is pretending not to hear, we cried and shout on the media. We shout and cry and call on the world on the media. They pretend not to hear us. They pretend not to know what is going on. Today, the time has come. The new dimension. Our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the most peaceful man in the issue of agitation, the most peaceful man who is an activist, the most peaceful man who is not only talking but acting, giving a solution to a problem. Today, you and I know that that man is in the hand of the enemy. The enemy have refused to leave him, not because he committed any offense, not because he killed anybody, but because they do not want him to have his freedom. They are planning by all means possible to push him down and take him down. But we cannot allow them. No matter how they try, we will not allow them. That is why we are coming out on a daily basis to speak up and shout on top of our voices on what is going on. It is unacceptable. We have shouted enough. And that is why our brother Simon Ekpa came and made a comment. Our brother Simon came and made a comment on behalf of the Biafran people and said that we will no longer take any order from the DSS. Because they might think that whatever we are going to do in the future, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be held responsible. They will try to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu responsible for the actions we are about to take. That is why we are announcing to them on time. We announced to them early that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will no longer give us order from the DSS. We will no longer respect any blackmail from the DSS, pretending to be the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It will be unacceptable. It has been announced openly. For a very time, many Biafrans have already been suspecting that the information coming from the DSS saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, they are not like what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will say if he's with us. And because of that, we have decided that we will begin to work according to the spirit of Chukwu Okike Abiama. Chukwu Okike Abiama have now taken charge of the struggle. No man is in charge. Chukwu Okike Abiama is in charge, and that is why we will continue to do what is necessary to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being released, because it is in our hand to do so. He is not going to release himself. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the camp of the enemy, and you don't expect him to send you any information from the enemy. There will be no, he will be only sending information through code, and the people who are supposed to decode the information do not have the knowledge to decode the information. Even the information that we are giving to them raw, they cannot be able to decode it. How much more when you give them an information? They cannot decode it. They can't decode it. So we cannot take any order anymore from the DSS. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not be held responsible for anything that happens henceforth. That is what our brother Simon Eko said, and that is absolutely correct. If they think they are looking for evidence against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we have made it clear. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu doesn't control what is happening outside. He has done what he has to do for every one of us, laid a strong foundation that we are following to make sure that Biafra comes. But henceforth, the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the hand of the Biafran people. The freedom of the Biafran people is in the hand of the Biafran people. Chukwu Okike Abiama is in charge and he is in control. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remain the leader of the struggle. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains the leader of the struggle. It cannot be changed, it cannot be challenged, it cannot be removed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains the undoubtable leader of the group, and he will continue to lead. He will continue to direct the affairs. It doesn't matter what anybody says or what he do. As long as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains alive, he remains the leader of the struggle. But what we are saying is that henceforth, the Biafran people on their own will walk according to the direction of Chukwu Okike Abiama to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We will not take any filtered information from DSS. We will not accept any filtered information from DSS, because the people who are supposed to be bringing in informations, who are supposed to decode informations, they cannot do so. Ask me, why do I say that? It is very clear before you and I that our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot speak or give any secret information in the DSS. Why? Because the lawyer told us that where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is, where they discussed with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that the whole place is bugged. That is what the lawyer said. The lawyer said that the whole place is bugged. There is no way they can have any private discussion with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And for the fact that the whole place is bugged and they cannot have private information discussion with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there is no way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can make a suggestion that will amount to the progress of the movement in DSS. It's not possible. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have laid foundation and put everything in place. And the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS, why he was abducted, is because he is agitating for the freedom of his people. It is because of that same IPOB. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS. They do not want him to continue the agitation. If he wants to be free today, all he has to do is to step down from the agitation and say he's no longer interested. As soon as he waves off the agitation, he will be free. That is why he's in hell. They want him to denounce the agitation. As soon as he denounces the agitation, then he'll be freed. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said no. Then how do you think that somebody who is standing a trial based on that same organization will stay in the DS and then discuss the progress of that same organization that's been tried upon? It's not possible. It doesn't happen anywhere. No sensible man will think that he will be in DSS and then still give a suggestion on what will happen outside. I don't mean that he doesn't have the knowledge. He knows what to do and he knows information on what to do. He can plan a lot, but he cannot pass those informations. He can't pass those information. The lawyer said the place where they discuss with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is completely bugged. They don't have any private discussion with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Then how do you expect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to give critical information from that very dungeon? It's not possible. It's not possible. So it is very clear that the people who are supposed to take over and do the normal thing are not ready to do it. Chukwu Okike Abiama have taken charge. The autopilot. That is when you are hearing about autopilot. Who is in charge of autopilot? Chukwu Okike Abiama is in charge of autopilot. Chukwu Okike Abiama can speak through anybody. He can pass information through anybody. And as long as that information is for the restoration of Biafra and for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we will follow it to the last. We will follow it and pursue it to the last. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. It doesn't matter who gives it. It doesn't matter who says it. As long as the information is for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the freedom of Biafran people, we will respect it and follow it to the last order. This is the truth and nothing but the truth. Take it or leave it. It will happen. That is what is going to happen. And henceforth, watch and see. It is time for liberation. Game changer. The new dimension have started. The new dimension have started. A time will come when you will stop talking about the irrelevant people. The time have come when you stop talking about the irrelevant people. Stop complaining. Stop blackmailing. If you don't have anything to offer, keep mute and continue to watch. If you are not ready to do something, there's no problem. Fold your hands and watch others do something. But don't discourage them. Don't talk down on them. Do not act as an informant for the enemy. If you provide yourself as an informant to the enemy, you are equally an enemy and you'll be taken out. You'll be taken out. It doesn't matter whom you are. It doesn't matter if you're Biafra or you're not a Biafra. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how close you are to Biafran people. As long as you begin to act an informant, as long as you begin to work against that which is going to grant us our freedom, we will work against you and fight you with all our might to take you down. That is what is going to happen. Take it or leave it. It's going to happen. The new dimension have commenced. For those of you who think it's a joke, watch and see. Seeing is believing. We have complained enough. At this stage, the broadcast of the Biafran people, every Biafran shouting online, the whole world have heard our voice. And they have refused to do something. Now it is our duty to take our freedom by force. We are going to take it. We cannot continue to tolerate the death of our brothers and sisters. We cannot continue to tolerate the death of our loved ones. We have died enough. We have been killed enough. And it's high time we move on with our life. Remember, the Christians said, the Holy Book said, that the kingdom of God suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Any Biafran person that said that he or she does not know whom to follow or where to look, you are part of the enemy. You are part of the problem. Any Biafran person today that says he doesn't know what to do, where to follow, whom to listen to, you are part of the problem. Because you are a liar, deceiving yourself. Today, the truth is clearer much more than ever. You see people who claim to be fighting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu confessing. People who claim to be fighting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are confessing. They are the ones who are working day and night to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not being released. Go and check the revelation that have been made by our brother Simon Ekpa. You can hate him, you can love him. But as long as he is standing for the truth, we don't love him because he is Simon Ekpa. I'm not calling on his name because of who he is. I am speaking up for him because he is standing for Chukwu Okike Abiyama. Speaking the truth and nothing but the truth. Absolute truth. If you know wherever he has lied, put it down. Convince me, show me. Give me evidence of his lies. Then we can begin to talk. But as he stands now, he has not yet deviated. If he deviates tomorrow, Biafran people, of course, we will desert him. But for now, he is holding the banner. No wonder Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when he was kidnapped, he was the first person he mentioned, allowing him a slot to broadcast on Radio of Biafra. Today, it is much clearer than ever. If you don't know whom to listen, that very person that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, while he was with us, told us to listen to him. Why they arrested him, he still told him to go and talk to us. If you don't know that he is the spokesperson of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I don't know what you are waiting for. That means you must be insane. That means you have a problem. There is nobody that is sane that will say he doesn't know whom to listen to or he doesn't know what is truth. Every human being born on the planet Earth knows the truth. If you pretend not to do the truth and you pretend not to know it, it's up to you. That is your business. Don't deceive others. But as it stands, we know the truth and the truth shall set us free. Biafran people, we are going home. The new dimension have started. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Whatever you are doing, if you are broadcasting, broadcast more. If you're fighting, fight more. If you're sitting at home, Monday, Sunday, any other day you can add, sit at home. Economic sanction on the Janjaweed. We will make them know that it's much more costly to keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in captivity than to leave him outside. And that is how he'll be released. We have been shouting and talking about it. Our brother Samadeko have been saying it. And our partners from Ambazonia confirmed it. What are you now waiting for? We are going home. Fight like never before. Don't look back. Don't mind the propaganda. We are going home. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me wherever you're joining. I appreciate you all, and I will join you later in the day. Please join me on Troops for Survival channel. I am going to be there for my normal program. My normal program we hold on Troops for Survival. I'm going to be there later in the day. In some hours, I will be there to make some expositions also and play some videos. If you have not followed the channel, please follow Troops Survival. You can equally follow Troops Survival channel on YouTube. Troops for Survival on Facebook page. That is where I do my program on daily basis. I will be there to give you more information. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, blessed. See you again later in the day. Bye.
Thank you.